All right, guys, since we're already set up and we're talking end of the year stuff, let's do a little SMAS extra, as we call it.
Extra.
We're going to go over our 2018 results, see how close or far we were.
Oh, memories.
And then we're going to throw out some 2019 predictions, because that's just what we do.
Predict the future?
Yeah.
Damn right.
Do we? Because I'm looking at this list.
All right.
Pretty, lots of misses.
I'm fucking Nostradamus over here. I don't know what you're talking about.
To go over our 2018 results, I'm going to let each of our panel here go over what they predicted, and we can discuss where we felt they landed it or maybe not so.
Sure.
So I'll kick it off, and we'll just go through all of ours since we only had 3. 2018, I predicted we were getting a Final Fantasy 15-2 announcement.
Thank God that didn't happen.
Oh my God.
Not only was I farthest off from the truth, they actually canceled the remaining DLC and any spin-off plans that series might have produced.
Negative points.
I think the creative director actually left Square Enix and is now starting his own thing. And that series just never got to the pinnacle they wanted it to.
Well fucking deserved.
Yeah. Good luck with your future, guy.
Screw that game.
But in my defense, that's usually the Square Enix route, is to slap another number on a numbered title.
Yeah.
So I was far off. I think they teased it. We didn't get an official title, but Fable, I predicted Fable would get announced as a game of service at E3.
How did they tease this?
We talked about what that studio is doing, because they were talking about Forza. Mm-hmm. And they said, we're also working on a secret project. We can't talk about that now.
Then that's nothing.
That's not fucking Fable.
I didn't highlight it because it was wrong. We didn't
Get
get
outta here,
official
bro.
confirmation.
That was entirely wrong.
Every
We got a game coming. That means Fable.
Anytime they say anything, are they teasing the new Fable?
God.
My last prediction was Cyberpunk will be trailered at E3, which it was.
Yep.
And it was on the Microsoft stage, I believe.
Ding ding.
So I got one right. The rest were horribly wrong.
All right.
Who wants to go next?
I guess go Brent.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my first prediction was that Kingdom Hearts 3 gets a release date. Remember you guys all scoffed at this? Thinking it was not even going to be touched until 2020. I was pretty proud of that one.
All right. Whatever.
And now we're 3 weeks away.
Yeah, exactly.
Now for a really bad prediction.
Yep. Breath of the Wild sequel teased at some point, which is
That was a personal wish.
come on.
That was a wet dream
We
if
can't
you
even
ever had
get a
one.
trailer for Metroid Prime. Like, come on.
Exactly.
Yeah. Something I thought I got right, which I would consider it correct.
We'll throw it on we'll give it to the table.
New Diablo game teased.
You didn't elaborate, but I'm guessing you're assuming like a Diablo full-fledged.
Yeah.
That's not what he said, though.
That's
I
not what he
said
said.
Diablo game.
But I'm guessing that's what you assumed.
It's new.
Yeah.
I didn't specify the concept.
And
give
everybody's
Brent this
hating
one.
it.
I give Brent this one.
Leave it vague for a reason. I think he got
Exactly.
it.
All right, so you get the Diablo mobile game towards
Do
your
what I
credit.
need to say? Blizzard's going to release a new garbage trash Diablo game.
They're gonna
Is that what I needed to say?
Everyone's gonna fucking hate it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, just to behind the scenes, John gave us this thing and highlighted yellow if this was a confirmed true thing. Blue says interpretation or not enough info. New Diablo game highlighted blue.
I think it's enough info.
So I think there's enough info. I like to make specific predictions. Maybe looking at this, maybe not. So I give that to Brent.
Very good. So Brent gets on the board with 2 points.
Yeah.
All right, Jake.
I'll just go down the line.
Yeah.
Okay, the first one, let's see here. What, Red Dead Redemption 2 is a best-selling game? Is that what?
RD2.
Yeah.
What? That's what I said?
Yep.
Yep.
Well, that's vague as fuck. What does best-selling even mean?
Well, I think it ended up selling, it sold the most copies.
Oh, yeah, it was like
Yeah.
the biggest media entertainment release of all
Yeah,
time.
like 70 million plus copies
Yeah.
sold.
Yeah.
A crap ton of pre-orders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. very
So you
good.
definitely nailed that one.
I'll take that. I wish this one happened, but it didn't. Nintendo monthly subscription service. It goes from NES to GameCube.
Yeah.
You were
Definitely
close.
didn't happen.
You were
Just
close.
N-
You were
just
close,
NES.
though. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's a yearly subscription for $20.
Yeah. Microsoft did this instead of Nintendo.
Right.
They did their own
Yeah.
old Netflix thing. So,
Yeah.
fuck me, right? And then the next one, Spider-Man outsells God of War. And in my I re-listened to that podcast. I said Spider-Man will outsell God of War and Last of Us Part 2 combined. So I think that's where it kind of differs, and that's why you put it in blue.
Gotcha.
Because I think Spider-Man did outsell God of War.
I remember it selling faster, but I don't
Right.
know if we ever got the numbers for NPD for the end of the year.
I think that
Yeah.
comes out next week.
Yeah, they
Does
don't
it?
give them out yet,
Middle
but
of January.
I think like Europe does like a week by week, and people make assumptions from that. Something
Right.
like that. They have to do it by law, but we don't know yet.
Europe's tricky though because Crash Bandicoot was topping the charts for months in Europe.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's because they're reporting differently. It's some weird thing about how they report.
I think you could be
sales.
right, but be tricky to see after year-end awards and all that stuff if Spider-Man has enough time to outsell. No, it was the fastest selling,
Yeah.
but did it keep its pace?
I have an assumption that it did, but I guess we can't say right now. I'll get back to you next video game podcast.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we'll see.
Yep.
What I put down, and I was like, I like specific ones, and then I read, okay, I said God of War will rival The Last of Us' narrative. John gave me that. I'll take it.
I'll count that.
Yeah, because
Definitely.
Last of Us is about, I don't know, there is a father narrative to that.
Yeah. So I I'll take it. You gave it to me. I'll take it. My number 2, I said Dreams would be an enormous flop. We're still not sure what's going to happen with
Yep.
Dreams because
Never
it's
came
not
yet.
coming out.
It was at some type of like Sony press conference, wasn't it?
It was at the E3 conference. It was the segues were like animations
Yeah.
from Dreams.
That's not a flop. They're putting everything behind Dreams.
Yeah, the animations.
Yep.
And then I said, and this one, do you remember? Did I specifically say at the Game Awards or what?
You said Game of the Year.
Okay, I said Red Dead Redemption 2 would be the game of the year. It could still win the GDC game of the year.
I think that description's vague as hell,
But
though.
yeah, it was kind of vague, and I'm not sure if I was more specific or if this is just John, writing down game of the year. I probably just.
I think
said
this is
game of the
about
year.
what you said.
It's probably what I said, and I'm
Yeah.
like, wait, there's like 5 different places give out game of the year, but
And most Game of the Years do come out more towards this time. It's just the
Yeah.
Video Game Awards, like the jump on it.
so I think this could win like 2 or 3 game of the years from different publications.
Yeah.
So you could maybe give this to me at some point, but I won't take it. I don't want it. You know what?
I think those
Red Dead
two with
can
you
fuck
guys
itself.
we'll follow up on. Gives us
Yeah.
something to look forward to, whether it actually happens or not. So, some of us were like me, pretty terrible, but it was fun to do so.
It's always
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's why we gotta jump into our next part here.
Especially when one random ass guess is like, "Oh, that's not gonna win," you just, and they're like, "Oh my
Scoff,
god,
scoff,
it came true." What the heck?
That's going to lead us into our 2019 predictions. And if you listen to our Game of the Year discussion, there's not much to elaborate on for 2019.
I feel like I'm not going to get any of my predictions right this year because there's not a lot to go off of.
And compared to last year, I'm playing it pretty safe, close to the chest.
But you did horrible last year.
Yep. Okay. Well, I'm toning it down far as like
Oh right.
stretch of announcements.
Okay.
I think I
gotcha.
got more specific. So
Did ya?
yeah.
A couple of mine are more specific, yeah.
Okay. So let's just do a little roundtable here. We'll all do our number 1s, number 2s, and number 3s.
That works.
And I'll kick it off with my number 1 prediction for 2019. And if you listened to a previous, I apologize because it's a repeat. I predict Cyberpunk comes out this year and becomes Game of the Year.
Well, it's not coming out this year, so you've already lost.
I mean, you could.
I think
It's not.
If it does, because it's definitely running on current gen. I
Right.
don't think it's running on next gen stuff. How far they're developed, it has to be current gen stuff.
With how long they've been developing it for.
With them not even, like, they kept the gameplay demo behind closed doors.
Yeah,
To
but-
me, I feel like it's a ways out.
But then they eventually released the demo on YouTube for people to watch.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I-
I've
and
seen it.
and it looks
It's-
like
looks good.
high end. It looks like a Grand Theft Auto scenario where it came out towards the end of the cycle, so everything gets mastered.
Okay.
And I think that's what's going to happen with this.
Okay.
But we'll see. Brent,
We'll see. I'll go with the easy one. I predict that there will be a Super Mario Maker Deluxe Edition that comes out this year.
I hope that happens. I really hope that happens.
that'd be out of the blue.
It did so well for the Wii U.
Yeah.
It was one of the last best things about the Wii U. Mm-hmm. I don't know why they wouldn't put it back on the Switch.
Well, I mean, Switch has ported, like, pretty much everything from Wii U.
Yeah.
So this is, like, one of the last big games that I need on my Switch.
Yep.
Very good. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
Very nice.
I didn't either.
All right, Jake.
Since this hasn't been taken yet, I kind of figured it would have by now, but I feel very strongly that there will be a beefier version of the Switch. Just because I think that there are new consoles on the horizon and Nintendo will want to kind of step their game up in that arena. Plus, since the 3DS is kind of dying, they need like a new source of like ad revenue. So I don't know if it's gonna be like it'll be a better version, but I don't know if it'll be like a strictly handheld only version that's cheaper, or if they'll make like a cheaper like 2DS type. There'll be a different brand of Switch, whether that be like beefier or something like that.
So you're saying a new model, but two different models?
Yeah, like
one
this,
lighter and one heavier?
yeah.
Like a Switch Pro and a Switch
Yeah.
Lite.
Yeah, whether this one that we have right now turns into the Lite, and then there's like a newer one that's the same price, and then this one gets dropped off, like something around that arena.
Yeah.
Right.
I think there's going to be a new Switch something.
That's tricky because you can't give up on the ecosystem you've built so far.
And I don't think they would.
I don't think so
Right.
either.
Yeah.
I want them to play it non-Nintendo smart.
I just
And
know
it
that
feels like they do that sometimes with like the 2DS and all this other these
Yeah.
3DS versions.
Right, the DS Lite.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, all that stuff.
I know Target is selling like all of their 3DS games on clearance right now, like for crazy like $5 prices. So I
Right.
think
Yeah.
that they're just getting rid of that space, and it's going to get taken over by more Switch stuff.
Yeah. I hope so.
Currently, the Switch can do 720p handheld and 1080p docked.
Yeah,
Right. And the battery life could definitely be improved.
definitely.
I don't think they push 4K though. There's
No.
way.
No, Nintendo will not do 4K. They just did 1080p 3 years ago. So yeah.
All right, Andy, what are you thinking?
All right, this one we can confirm pretty quickly within the next 2 weeks. So currently, the worst Metacritic reviewed game of the Kingdom Hearts series is 68. We've got Kingdom Hearts Recoded. I think Kingdom Hearts 3 gets worse than 68 Metacritic.
No way.
I think this one's going to be a little disappointing.
You're huffing pain over
No,
there.
I think this one is going to be just a little meh, and maybe meh enough that the weight combined with how meh it is kind of drives that score down.
I like the stakes you're setting.
So
I do too.
High stakes. I think it's below a 68. I think the user score, people are still going to like it. 80s probably, like 88, whatever. I think the critic score is not going to be great on this one.
I can't wait to do a Let's Get Critical with you and have your score completely wrong.
I can see it right now. An Andy Guild Metacritical of all Kingdom Hearts series.
Oh, sure.
Ooh.
Sure.
All the
No
guesses
pre-
I
no-
fucked up on, maybe.
No pressure, Andy. All right, guys, let's jump into our number twos, and I'll kick it off with it's kind of a piggyback off yours, Jake.
Okay.
But I took it a step further.
Uh-oh.
I put a lot of variables into this one that has to be met in order to get this right.
Okay.
Not happening.
I put Sony, Xbox, and Nintendo make new hardware announcements in 2019. I don't think they get released. Maybe Nintendo, but I'm not staking that.
Sure.
I do say Sony establishes backwards compatibility going forward.
Never.
No way.
Xbox reveals 2 next-gen version units.
I do see. Do you know what those two are?
I know Scarlet is the one being discussed.
Well,
Oh.
for my two, I would think it'd be like one with a disc drive, one without.
Yeah, mine is. I think what I said was one streaming, strictly streaming,
Yep.
and one is disc-based.
Yep.
And then lastly, Nintendo introduces a Switch Pro. So put a lot out there, a lot of variables.
Yeah,
to
you
consider.
did.
I could see it happening. I feel like 19 is gonna be a transitional year, and 20 is gonna be like a beginning of something new. But anyway,
I had a guess like that, so I'm not going to do it anymore. But I said that Xbox, the new one, will get announced at E3, and PS5 won't at E3, but it will sometime later on the year. Like I'm
Very nice.
guessing, like their December PSX will come back with a vengeance or something.
do you think 8K is a discussion in these consoles?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Because people like to be ahead of the game with that stuff.
Yeah, but there's still a lot of people trying to catch up with 4K TVs right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Xbox One S was trying to be on the 4K verge, and they eventually evolved into the X.
Yeah, the One S, which
there's-
came out
yeah.
like 2 or 3 years after the
Plus,
one.
There's
Right.
only like 2 8K TVs even in production right now.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they'll keep on doing what they are doing, at least Microsoft-wise. Like, hey, we'll come out with a new console every 3 years.
And if they do, it'll be like the Xbox X, where
Yeah.
it's like the 3rd edition of the
Yep.
system.
Okay, just throwing it out there. All right, Brent.
My number 2 is I bet we get 2 HD remasters of main title Nintendo games this year.
Ooh.
What do you mean by that?
/ Switch ports?
What?
Like you're talking about like Switch ports?
No, like remasters.
Yeah,
Oh,
spec-
flat
specify a little bit.
Flat out HD remasters,
So-
like a Twilight Princess.
Like
project.
Wind Waker getting
Okay.
remastered for the Wii U.
2 this year.
Right.
2 this year. 2.
2 of them.
2 of them.
2 of them.
Do you have any in mind, or is this just a prediction?
Do you want to throw out franchises?
I could back you up so quick on this one. Can I?
I don't care.
Metroid Prime is in
Yeah.
need of an HD remake.
I feel like that's a gimme.
It is, but that could be one game or 3 for all we know.
Yeah.
I'd go Metroid Prime and Pikmin.
Pikmin won't.
I'd go Pikmin 1 and 2.
Oh, a trilogy bundle?
Yeah.
Oh, give me that Pikmin.
Or what about Super Mario 3D Land port?
Or some like
Land and
3DS.
World.
That gets-
yeah,
that
some
gets
3DS
enhanced.
game. I could see that too.
Yeah, World. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
So I could see it, Brent. I see your train of thought. That's classic Nintendo.
Yeah.
Very good.
Okay. It's up to me now, huh? Okay, I'm going to save this one. I'll go to this one. Okay, I think Beyond Good and Evil 2 and Death Stranding won't come out this year.
Oh, won't come out.
So Dreams can finally come out and have its time to shine. Dreams coming out 2019.
Oh boy.
Beyond Good and Evil 2 and Death Stranding will not.
What you're also saying there is Dreams is going to carry Sony through 2019.
I don't know. I'm not necessarily saying that. I was more playing off what Andy
Yeah.
loves about Dreams.
My unofficial
Which is nothing.
for 2019, they would get 2 more trailers for that game. Where you have no fucking clue of what's going on.
For Death
Oh, Death
Stranding?
Stranding, yeah.
Death
Yeah.
Stranding, yeah.
Beyond Good and Evil 2, I have no idea what the hell that game's going to be.
No.
I haven't seen any gameplay. I've just seen a whole bunch of cinematics, which look great, but
Right.
I don't think that game's anywhere close to being coming out this year.
Very nice.
Okay, so I'll kind of piggyback off of John there. I think PS5 will be announced, and I think they will announce that Death Stranding is a release title for the PlayStation 5.
I can see it.
Because I don't think that it's. I think it's either going to be like you said, like that last hurrah of the PS4, or they just push it on PS5. I could see it being released on PS5 as a launch title.
It's whatever Kojima wants.
Yeah, that
Honestly.
too. But I mean, Sony they've given him a lot of money to make this game.
Yeah.
They've put a lot of stuff like faith in him and everything. I could see them really pushing it to be like, hey, put this on the PS5. And he can do it. I mean, Metal Gear Solid 4 was like one of the best looking PS3 games.
What's funny though is the trailers we've seen, especially the gameplay, does not look next gen.
Looks like a walking.
No,
It looks this gen for
it's
sure.
very
Yeah.
strange looking. I mean, you can have the bare bones of a game and then kind of upscale it, or
Right.
do what you want with it. Or it could be a situation where like you have some like the PS4 launch titles kind of looked like high-end PS3 games.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
true.
So
Yep.
you never know.
That's what I was thinking.
Very
So
good
that's my
point.
prediction.
All right, let's wrap it up with our number 3 predictions. This one I could see happening. I'm a little optimistic about it, but I think Nintendo introduces the SNES app to their online service.
I hope so.
That'd be sweet.
Because
I fucking hope
the
so.
NES is going to run out of titles that people really care about very soon.
Well, we'll see. They're coming out with 3 a month.
I know,
Yeah.
but they're starting to get to a point where,
Shovelware.
yeah, like games like on the NES library on the scale of games I want to play, pretty far down.
Yeah.
The highlights there's some there's some that are still missing,
Mm-hmm.
but they got to top out on that sometime mid next year.
We'll see about that. I don't know.
And I don't think we'll get 64 anything next year. I don't think we'll get GameCube anything next year. I think they introduce like a component to the online service that is like the NES, that's the SNES collection. And I think they slowly start building there as well.
Okay.
And I could see them selling us again, well, 2 sidebars of controllers that go on the Switch of SNES controllers.
I bought the NES ones.
Yep, me too. So
And I played them. It feels nice.
yeah,
Like for $20 a year, just for the NES library, for me is enough. I know online is iffy for a lot of people, but just those games is good enough for me. And if they add like another console generation worth of stuff for that $20,
yeah.
I'm all in for that.
That'd be cool, but it's Nintendo with an online service.
Exactly.
So I have
well,
That's what I think
I
too.
lost a lot of faith in them since this last one.
With the current rate they're doing it, like, how long are they going to milk this out, though?
I think they got to give incentive to keep people into 2019 with this service.
Mark my words, the Switch will be around for 10 years plus.
Ooh.
This is year 2, and it's almost, I think it's sold about 20 million units.
Yeah,
Yeah.
God, it's
And I do like the
Crazy.
idea of like taking a classic NES game like Legend of Zelda and giving people the option to jump into the final boss with the story already fulfilled and your character's already maxed out, and you can fight Ganon right from the get-go of that game if you choose to enact that option.
Yeah, the special versions
Version
of
of the-
stuff that they have.
Yeah, which is very smart.
crazy. Yeah,
So I want them to see them continue to build upon that, but with the SNES library.
sure.
And give us Chrono Trigger. Come on.
yeah.
You held us out on, the classic?
Yeah,
Put it online.
they're not going to pay for that license.
Love Chrono
You
Trigger.
crazy, John.
All right. Brent.
Mine is throwing a dart from a moving bus, which is Kingdom Hearts 3 will get Game of the Year next year.
Oh my god!
I got conflicting opinions on this one.
Oh, wow.
Heavy wind is coming from that bus too. There's no way that dart's hitting
There's
anywhere
a drunk
near.
guy driving at like 90 miles per hour.
I can tell you right now that ain't happening, but
We'll see.
you never know.
We'll see. What I've seen so far from it, it looks good.
Yeah, it looks good.
Looking and being are two different states.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was it.
That's all she wrote.
Okay, that works.
Fucker.
I guess my next one's pretty quick too, and this is like a hope and a dream. I don't think they're gonna come out with an N64 classic. Mm-hmm. I think they're coming out with a Game Boy Classic.
Ooh.
I'm
like that one.
fucking hoping a Game Boy Classic is coming, and it could be like Game Boy Color, all that stuff, but I want a portable classic thing to go with me, and I know that like a Switch is their portable thing, and the classic systems have been selling like gangbusters, and I know they're starting to dry up a little bit, but
Well, especially for Sony.
well, yeah, we don't even talk about Sony's. That was just pathetic.
Sad.
I saw it on sale for I think $29.99,
Yeah.
which is just dumb.
Within like a
It
month.
originally
of,
cost $100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope all those scalpers that bought the NES classics bought a ton of fucking PlayStation
Yeah.
classics
Yeah.
just as
and
karma.
Sitting on them now.
Yeah.
I know I would buy a Game Boy Classic day one, so I'm hoping they do it.
I would love that.
Yeah.
That's one that I would. I don't have either of the classics right now. I'd buy a Game Boy
See,
like
but
right away.
if they do
Yeah.
that, I want Game Boy to Game Boy Advance.
See, they
Yeah.
wouldn't do that just because of the number one, the graphical style, but number two, just the form fitting. They would sell another advanced
Oh,
one.
that'd be cool too.
But Game Boy through Game Boy Color, there's a good plethora of games. to
Yeah,
choose on there.
hundreds of good games they could put on
Pokemon,
there.
Link's
Yeah.
Awakening, Mario Land.
That collection would be at least 50.
I would
That
love.
would be cool.
I would
You'd
guess
have to go
40
long.
games. I would guess 40 games, and it would cost $60.
Interesting.
That's my second guess
I'm
on
there
top
with
of
you.
it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or my final prediction. I think the next. So there's been a couple games that come out that people kind of are mad at or they hate for whatever reason. Fallout. You've got Battlefield. Different things with like weird monetization stuff. The next game that's going to do that. This is a big prediction. Devil May Cry 5
Ooh.
is gonna. I've heard a few little things about weird monetization stuff they're trying to push into this game that they're testing or it's in a beta or something. I think that's going to be the next one that really just feels like a cop-out and pisses a lot of people off.
Really?
Devil May Cry 5. It's happening. It sucks. It's going to suck.
Okay.
I don't want to be so negative on these predictions.
You are.
But I prefer negative predictions.
Sure.
Yeah, for whatever reason.
They're more fun.
Maybe it says
Well,
a
with
lot
how
about me.
2018 went, it's easier to get these bad ones. Than
Yeah, the 2018,
Sure,
2018 there were so many letdowns. I feel like that train is still moving, or that bus, or whatever, what have you. The bus of bad games that Brent sits on is still moving.
For 2019, in comparison to previous years like 2018, 2017, and we don't talk about the Wii U days really. Hype. Are we hyped for 2019 yet?
Not yet.
No.
no.
I feel like I'm still riding the end of 2018's coattails and still trying to knock out those games.
That's what normally happens for me, though. Like Christmas time, like November, December, October of a year is so good that it takes the next year a few months to catch up.
Right.
But I mean, the first 2 months of 2019, we have Kingdom Hearts, we have Anthem, we have the Wii U,
Resident Evil 2.
we have Resident Evil 2.
New
Like,
Yoshi game.
Possibly.
yeah, we'll see about that.
Okay.
But yeah, like, there's a lot of quality titles these first couple months, so I'm kind of excited for a couple of those.
Yeah, same here, and I'm
Yeah.
hoping that there's still plenty of surprises to come.
Yeah.
And that kind of leads to my next question. Out of Nintendo, Xbox, and Sony, far as expectations and hype for each kind of subdivision here, who is the most wild card? Is it like Nintendo? Nintendo usually has a direct around this time.
Yeah.
We haven't had any announcements yet, but I feel like Nintendo Fall 2019 is a complete mystery.
Yeah, for 2019, I'd say Nintendo.
I have a gut feeling that Microsoft is going to be the winner of 2019.
Think so?
All those studios they picked up,
They're-
they're working on some stuff.
They're trying to beef up their arsenal, not only with the studios, but I think they're going to be the first one to announce a new console.
Sea of Thieves did so well.
Well, they're just shitting on rail like they always have.
They kind of lost this generation and
Yeah.
in terms of
Badly,
sales.
badly.
So they're the ones who need to do something.
Yep.
So I'd put them as like a wild card. But Nintendo had a kind of a slow year last year with the Switch. Like they kind of just built on the success they've been having, but you didn't really get, besides Ultimate, you didn't really get like a huge like crazy release. So I think they could also have something planned.
One of my guesses was that the new Pokemon won't come out this year. I think it'll be next year.
Ooh, you think it's
But
pushed?
I wasn't confident enough to do that, but I have a feeling that Nintendo is still going to struggle this year with coming out with like really good
Big blockbuster,
first party
yeah.
releases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Xbox, I think it'd be cool. I'd be a stretch to see it happening if they actually get third parties to buy into Game Pass. Because right now it's all first party Xbox stuff. If you can get third parties into the Game Pass, I think that's a huge step forward.
They have some third party stuff, but it's older releases. I don't know if they'll be able ever to do third party day one releases. I don't think that's possible. But again, with Microsoft building or getting all of these studios, there's going to be a lot more to offer with Game Pass.
That's true. And people in the Xbox community are utilizing Game Pass.
Yeah.
So it's already working.
If I used my Xbox enough, I would get it. I haven't gotten it yet, but it's so damn cheap and you get so much. Like, you wouldn't even have to buy a Microsoft game. You'd pay $120 for a year and get 10 plus games.
Right.
It's crazy. That's a crazy deal.
And on the Sony front, are we thinking, buying into what we've been told so far, that we think it's going to be a quiet year for the PS4 and Sony, or do we think this actually is beginning of a hype cycle for PS5?
This is the biggest question mark for me.
Yeah, Sony fucked up at E3. I don't know what the hell they're coming
E3
out with.
2018.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2018.
And
I
them
don't see what they're
canceling their
doing.
PSX this year.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
That's
And
they've
they're not
never
going to
done that
E3
ever since it
2019.
started. Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're not doing E3 this year.
So
Right.
who knows what the hell they're doing?
I have no idea. That's why I'm guessing they'll announce PS5 somewhere, but it's not going to be at E3.
Like, we went into last year knowing that they were going to have Detroit, they were going to have God of War, and they were going to have Spider-Man exclusive on their system.
Right.
What do they have now? That dumb motorcycle game? Who gives
Trials.
a shit?
Days
no,
Gone.
No, Days Gone.
Oh, yeah, Days Gone.
That's
dumb-
about it.
Like a zombie game coming out when the zombie genre is like dying.
Yep.
Woohoo, great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Yeah.
I think Nintendo has the most announcements out there, but without dates or anything to give us.
Yeah.
Firstly, like Animal Crossing being teased, Metroid being teased, and some other stuff that we like, Daemon X Machina, that weird robot game that was shown. We don't really know anything about,
Forgot about that one.
but they're just going to keep... I'm hoping that these directs with Nintendo, because I just love Nintendo, that they're continue to be good. So we'll see.
You be down here and now
Think so.
you need to come up here.
Jeez, lady.
That's a script.
Well, yeah. Did mom tell you to say that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew it. I knew
Someone
it.
just got a scripted
Uh-huh.
actress Gene.
Hi.
That means we should wrap it up, guys.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. We're done. Bye.
Thanks for joining us at SMAS Extra. We'll see what 2019 brings. Zoe, our director, has told us to wrap it up. So thanks
We
for
need
joining
someone to do that
Yeah.
sometimes.
We do.
honestly.
us. We'll see you next time.